Hello, welcome to another episode of Understand Nation. Oh man, we had a heck of a week, guys.
Yeah, we did.
So
we spent like an hour trying to
releases.
pick. We literally spent an hour trying to pick the songs to talk about this week.
Yeah, our initial shortlist that we worked from was like already 20 something songs,
Mm-hmm.
and then we started struggling on cut number 6, like after 2 rounds of cutting.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Good songs.
that's alright. You're not gonna miss out because if you look in the bottom of the description of the video, you'll see the rest of the songs listed there, and check them out for yourself. So, guys, let's take it to our first one. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, you set yourself up for this one.
So, Cignature, their first actual comeback, because the last time it was like their debut lead
single B.
Yeah,
Debut lead single B.
God, that was so confusing.
yeah, it really was. But
Yep.
speaking of confusing, here we got ARISONG.
Oh my, you did not.
So, Nick, this song, my God, there was so much going on in here.
Yeah, so much like the title, this track and everything about it is very confusing. There is no real entire rhyme or reason.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I love this so much. I mean, it's just like kind of what we established with IZI's first 2 releases, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no real rhyme or reason, and I think I like that a lot, actually.
This time around, or at least their rendition of it.
Yeah, I think it followed a little more structure than what IZI gave it originally.
Right.
But I like this a lot. One thing I did notice was they have a very, very punchy sub bass.
Yeah.
And that really caught me off guard. So sub bass is that lower kind of bass sound you hear.
You
That's
hear him a
kinda
lot
just
in
more
like
hums.
EDM, dance type songs.
Yeah. And when it punchy means that it just hits really hard.
Okay.
So
Yep.
and that's what gives it a little more of that funk aspect. Is that bass is just kind of all over the place, like it's going everywhere. But man, I loved the song. I thought that even though there was like basically no rhyme or reason to this song at all,
Yeah.
I thought they flowed everything very like effortlessly
Yep.
and very smooth.
This song was very cute.
It was very cute.
To say the least. It almost, I want to say cavity-inducing cute, but it was still fairly cute.
Fairly cute, but with like quite a bit of attitude too. It was kind of sassy.
Yeah.
Oh?
A little bit. One thing that I did find really interesting is that they use quite a few words in this song that don't translate correctly, which usually a lot of K-pop songs try to avoid.
It's something that I
Because
feel like it's more in J-pop songs, where it uses words that...
I can't speak to that one.
Well, it's kind of like an onomatopoeia kind of thing, where... But that when it comes to Japanese songs, that I feel like that they use a lot, and when it comes to like cute onomatopoeias, I feel like I tend to hear it more in that for that kind of situation.
Oh, so Japanese language has a lot of those type of words.
Right.
So I can't see it. But
Onomatopoeias.
what the word means is it's when a sound effect becomes a word itself. So, like boom, right? The word boom in English is an example of that. It's a word that represents a sound effect. It's a sound effect that became a word.
Yep.
So.
And so they in here they used a lot of that as well. You heard them say bunchok. Bunchok just means flashing. It's like a light that is flashing.
Yep.
Bing bing means like spinning. Sort of. It's complex. And like we talked about before, ARISONG, right? ARISONG means confusing. I think the most interesting one they used here was sarang, because sarang means gently, but it refers specifically to wind blowing.
Yep. So one of the things that Nick had brought up earlier, right, was a lot of K-pop songs tend to shy away from these type of words, or words that can't be translated properly into English, and that's true, especially more true for lately, like the past couple years, as a lot of these labels have shifted their focus towards the international markets.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean lately. If you go back into like Gen 2, Gen 1, whatever, it's a bit of a different situation there. But yeah, like that's why I was kind of interested to see the song title was ARISONG, because I was like, it's odd. But I aside from that, like, I really found this song interesting. One thing that was interesting was how they decided to make the members stand out here. Because usually the way you make members stand out is, you give them close-ups or solo shots.
Yep.
Call it in general. But, like, I feel like each member, even though there were, like, group aspects, I feel like each member was promoted correctly,
Right.
Yeah, because, I mean, even when it came to the group shots, right, you'd have these moments where they'll kind of swing the camera over to one individual member and then to another later on, or cut to another member. So yeah, I kind of see what you're saying there.
Yeah. I feel like it was definitely I feel like they were definitely promoted well. One thing I really liked, which is something that we didn't see a lot before, was Belle was being promoted a lot here.
Oh yeah.
And we'll put a picture of who it is, because I still don't know the names and who they're associated with.
Yes. So even when she was back in Good Day, she really wasn't promoted that much. It was usually always like, your typical standout members. But I really liked seeing a lot of Belle here, especially.
Yep.
It's so weird calling her Belle. Me and Jihoon know what's up.
Yeah, we keep getting confused, like, between like their old stage names. So
of course. But
yep. Now, with the synth sounds too, like in the instrumentation, like it also kind of felt like it I've had a bit of that GWSN character as well, from like, you remember the first 3 songs that GWSN had released?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, that first series of songs by the same producer. Yeah. I was getting flashbacks of that, so I was honestly surprised though. I was honestly surprised that you liked it, because like I was just like, well, he's either gonna like not like it. I'm
either gonna hate this or I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no in between. And honestly, on first listen, I didn't really like it.
Same. So I was honestly the same.
Yeah, I didn't really like it on first listen. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but as the week went by and I started listening to it more and more, I was like, okay, I vibe with this song. Like, this song's good.
I would say for me, the transition started happening towards the end of the song, right? I was like, I think I'm starting to come around to this. So the fact that I'm starting to feel this way, let me give it another shot. So
yeah, definitely. The first chorus, I was like, the first time I heard the chorus, I was like, oh no, don't tell me you did that to this entire song. But it's not bad. It's not bad.
For me, I still haven't come around to this song, but when I first listened to it, I'm like, I feel like the guys aren't going to be a huge fan of it at first, but this is something that I feel like they're going to eventually grow into.
Or called it.
Yeah. Like we pretty much share like almost a full brain cell with the 3 of us together, and so I think like I'm starting to get a vibe of, okay, this is a song that you guys will immediately like, or this is a song that you guys will grow to like, or this is just, I'm not gonna touch this song.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, we still have our surprises though, like, like, I'm surprised that Aura liked that or Nick liked that.
Yeah.
So.
Although I do realistically think that there's not really much that Red Square or Signature could release that me and Jihoon are not gonna like, because we still have that Good Day bias.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're underappreciated.
I still have the songs on my playlist. So
same.
Yeah.
Their song. They're singular.
So yeah, I still have especially like from the Good Night Subunit Fly Away, that song.
One thing that I did notice was, you know, at the beginning, that bell, that like school bell,
yeah,
that they at the very end they toned down into the song.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Westminster Chime.
Huh?
It's called the Westminster Chime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but I've heard it in another song. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was an Everglow song.
I feel like it's an IZIONE song.
I'm pretty sure it was an Everglow B-side. Anyway, that's a really well repeated loop. But
oh wait, no.
Usually, and the tune down usually always happens. One thing I do wish was that I wish they did something different with it. Because I was kind of expecting it, you know?
Yeah, to kind of like play with it a bit to kind of flow into the song more.
Yeah, because like, I mean, I know it played into. I wonder if it's actually in the song. I haven't listened to the actual song yet, but I know they did that because the MV. You know. Whatever.
Yeah, because like the school theme and whatnot.
Yeah. I just wish they would have played that into the song a little more. If it's not in the song, and the song just starts at that vocal, that synthesized vocal coming in, I think I'll actually like it probably a bit less.
Yeah, because like they did have like that small little kind of transition into the song, but like
that's pitching it down.
Yeah, but like,
I don't know.
they could have done more. Yeah,
I agree.
So, Aura, there was so much going on with this music video too.
I mean, I feel like it's a very stereotypical high school setting song. A little bit chaotic.
Especially coming after Weekly.
Yeah. It's definitely meant to, with all the bright colors, the setting, it's meant to portray a youthful kind of like appearance, but then there's like a few parts where it does also create that like duality of the sassiness that you mentioned in the song earlier. It definitely conveys that, but overall it is a very youthful song, and tends to convey something that I want to go, you know, while you are young, you can be slightly rebellious. I wouldn't say rebellious, but kind of do your own thing. It's an
independent.
Yeah, you can be independent while also being young. Like, it's basically saying don't forget to be young.
Or individualistic was the word that you're about to say as well. That would actually fit very well as well. So
it's all among the same here, individual line.
The theme here too, right? With all the with all those words that we just spent a long time talking about, and then the imagery and the kind of messiness, not messiness, but like this kind of craziness with the song. There's also like some kind of otherworldly features in there. Like, you remember that scene, right, where you got like there's like a few dozen arms holding on orange for G1 to grab. That was like a really unsettling scene for me, but it kind of makes me think of like 8th grade syndrome as well. So if you've ever heard that phrase before, right? And because I said that, right, I also got to thinking of like High Cutie, if you remember that group. Was it like a project group or something? Project development group or development group? Okay, yeah, because like that was also their debut, right? Was 8th grade syndrome.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's kind of like this it's a high school setting, right? But like, I don't know, it's like the theme was just like, you know, like Aura was saying, right? The individuality, get lost in your creativity, get lost in your world, do your thing.
But don't forget to be young.
It's really,
don't forget to be young.
It's really fun. Yeah. You know, I like it a lot. So, and you know, I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw the teaser photos of them dressed up in school attire, I kind of felt my stomach cringe a bit. I was like, "Oh no!
Yup.
What are they gonna do here? You know, is this gonna be a train wreck or what?" And then and I think that's part of why too. I kind of had like this almost negative feeling right coming into the song. Like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. I don't think I'm gonna like this. So I'm so glad though. The Aura was right and that it grew on me.
Me too.
This whole music video, this whole song has just been one journey for us, hasn't it? So
Yeah.
So I just
Also-
I just listened to the actual song itself. It doesn't have that school thing that it comes in the music video.
Oh, okay. So you just checked it out on Spotify?
No, I went on YouTube.
Oh, did you just pick up
Okay,
this?
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we ready to move it on, folks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about time.
All right. Nick. I was gonna say Nick, but Aura, this is really more you. So
More me.
go for it,
It's
bro.
our style.
More my style. Alright.
Well, I mean, you are the wise one.
Yep. He's got that wise man hairstyle. So
Alright, so Yuri was just recently sang one of the songs for what was that? It's
do you like Brahms?
yeah, Be Like
Be Like
Brahms OSTs and the song is
My Love.
My Love. I'm tired. Leave me alone, okay? I've been having a long week. But
It's fine.
so it's not an actual music video, but it's just her singing the song with clips with her in the studio with clips of the actual drama.
Which a lot of OSTs do that,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not all clips of the drama itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's usually the way they go. It's also like a cheaper method.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, it's not
So-
a bad thing. I'm just
No.
I mean,
you
they're
know,
there to promote the drama. They're not
Exactly.
there, you
Yeah.
know.
exactly.
And just like what we saw before with Punch, right? When she, especially when she did, like collab with Moonbyul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those turned out great. So now this song, wow, Nick, R&B, right?
R&B.
Uh,
Honestly, if you were going to tell me at any point in my life that Yuri is doing an R&B track, I'd tell you
wouldn't.
that you're crazy and that you're lying to me.
yeah,
I mean, you
would-
are the
'cause I would-
Yuri fan of if you were to pick an IZIONE member.
I would have lost that bet too, because I would have, if you were to tell me like, oh, Yuri doing a single, I would say like, oh, ballad.
I would
Hands
have
down.
bet money
Yeah,
that it was a ballad.
yep, I would have lost money.
But honestly, now that I'm hearing it, this might suit her voice better.
Yeah, because she's got that. She's kind of got that.
Huskiness.
Got that. The huskiness, raspiness, right? That is really well. It goes really well with that atmospheric nature of R&B,
Mm-hmm.
right?
There's also one thing that her voice has that really it makes a contrast, but it makes a smooth contrast to the R&B.
Mhm.
And that is her because she gives so much air to it. It gives a more ethereal feeling.
Yeah.
You hear that ethereal feeling, that ethereal sound in quite a few groups. WJSN.
Yep.
Oh My Girl. You hear those ethereal, and the reason that it's so ethereal, quotation marks, ethereal, is that it's because there's a lot of airiness, but it's also so pushed.
Mm-hmm.
But because she's adding a lot of air, usually a ton of air isn't added to R&B.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually really like it.
Right.
I mean, there's been a few.
There are a few, but she's adding as much air as you would for normally like a ballad.
Mm-hmm.
For a ballad or especially like more like a indie acoustic too,
Yeah.
right?
But she's doing that for a R&B track, which is very interesting.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, and the that musical accompaniment, man, it was kind of minimalistic. Not
very.
as like minimalistic as like when we talk about like BB, right?
Right, of course.
But it was, I don't know. It was kind of like it was just kind of like that.
It's chill
like how
vibes.
she does.
Chill vibes.
Yeah, this song in and of itself is a vibe.
Yeah.
This is a song that you want to just like sit down with a cup of tea and just chill.
Read a book.
And you guys know how much I love IZIONE. When I first heard the song, I was kind of dreading it. I was afraid, like, oh no, am I gonna? I don't know. I was like, I felt like I was just gonna get put into a boring song, right? But I'm so glad I was proven wrong. And especially since, like, it's Joe Yuri. I'm like, I was not expecting a song like this from Joe Yuri.
One thing that helps a lot as well is that they have a great utilization of I don't know what it's called. That thing, it's like multiple bells, and so you run like a stick across it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like almost like a wind chime, almost.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know the actual name for it, but they had a great utilization of those bells.
Wait, is it Windlast? That's a different thing, isn't it?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Ah, man.
Great. Is it? If we figure
someone in the comments,
we figure it out, we'll put it in the thing.
Someone in the comments, please tell us as well.
Because
we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're starting to share our brain cell too badly that we can't even think of anything anymore.
Yeah. So, they definitely had a great utilization of those bells.
Yep.
And also when they did use it, they had an amazing utilization of the synths. Like. It was actually amazing to like the intro synth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was an amazing utilization. But and then that intro into the guitar, man.
Right.
I thought it was gonna be a ballad off hearing that guitar.
Same.
I was like, oh, it's a ballad.
That's exactly what I was expecting.
I was like, okay, it's a ballad. So like I skipped part of the way through it. I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, when did this go R&B?
It's. I feel like it's more of a mix between a ballad and R&B.
It is. It's a little on the slow side for an actual R&B track, but it's a little on the fast side for a ballad.
Yeah.
But I would classify this as an R&B song. The thing that really gives it that R&B nature is that they used a synthesized keyboard to synthesize to a bass. Yep. That was like what really gives it that R&B like. Yeah, and then the keyboard is also they're doubled up on a keyboard, and used like a different synth.
Okay.
So it goes like it's more like a wow synth.
Yeah.
And that's also very typical of an R&B song.
And
yep.
Like, because when we listen to like IZIONE songs, we usually hear a more powerful voice to Yuri when she's singing. So it was a nice change of pace where she was a little bit more airy. She was a little bit more.
Yeah. The last time we got this was, I think, Really Like You.
Yeah. I feel like you get it in the B-sides, but
definitely
if you watch like her audition tapes, or if you watch a lot of the main songs, she's more of a power vocal in those songs. And don't get me wrong, it's still real. I still really like her power vocals, but I feel like this is a nice change of pace, and I really do like when she's using a much more airy voice for these kinds of songs.
Yeah. Now, for the musical accompaniment, right? The electrical guitar is very subtle.
Wait, there was an electrical guitar?
The electrical guitar was in there. I feel like it gave a very important texture to the song.
Yeah. I agree.
Like, even though it's very subtle, right, in there, I don't know, man. Like, I think it was, without it would not be the same.
Right.
Like, I think it would be missing something very big if you're just remove that one subtle component of the song. It's just so weird to me. Like, that stood out to me. I don't know why. So.
It stood out to you because there was one point in the song where they brought it very forward,
right? And
then for a moment, but that's because it was playing a highlight melody.
Yep.
And then they threw it to the back.
But it was also part of the opening too. Well, part of the opening stage of it. So it kind of helped establish like its presence there. Like, hey, I'm here, right? And I'm gonna go fade to the back a bit, but I'm still gonna be here, supporting the song. You know?
They also had a lot of guitar layers on this, and I really like that. Rather than just one guitar playing everything, they had multiple guitars, and they also had one guitar pan to one side, which was really nice. Yeah, it gave a little more open soundstage.
It gave an open soundstage, and also helps provide that immersion.
Yeah, it made it feel like it was live.
Yep.
All in all, I think it was a really good song.
I think.
Oh yeah.
We should probably move on pretty soon, though.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, we need to. So,
let's go.
My goodness. All right, Nick, I think you already knew that this is all you. So.
Of course. So we have a new debut. Group's called Checkmate. This is their song Drum. Came out on the 21st. It's got 650,000 views, which is not bad for a debut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this is by Grace Company. I'm pretty sure this is their first artist.
Yeah.
And this is actually a co-ed group.
And also, just for additional context too, for those views, this is off of their official company website, not 1K.
Yeah.
Or
this is 650,000 views on their company YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah. So definitely doing really well. That being said, so the group is 5 members, 2 females, 3 males. Well, the song.
So Nick, right out the bat, I think you could tell like this is also kind of like my kind of song.
Yeah. This definitely lies kind of in your kind of area. There's quite a lot of Latin influence here.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly in my head I thought that was very ambitious of them.
Yeah. Because I mean you're directly going into like cards.
You are directly challenging card.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very, very. I thought that was very respectable, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
you understand that like there's not many, so you want to have some competition, you know.
Yeah, and also like, yeah, I think that's actually kind of a smart play too, because you know if people really like Card's style, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Card only has so many different songs of so many different styles.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably gonna want some variety.
That being said, a lot of people talk about old Card and new Card.
Mm-hmm.
Old Card was very much the more subdued Latin influence, and new Card is very much like the scream Latin influence. Yeah, the overly Latin influenced, like very hard hitting Latin American aggressive.
Yeah.
This is very much in the realm of old Card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is very much what you would expect from old Card.
And I think that's kind of why it's like more in my range, because like it's not that I don't typically really go for Latin style, right? I mean, I think you guys have already known this from last year, right? It's not really something that automatically catches me. In fact, I'm usually a lot more reserved towards that. But if they I think it was for Monster X, if they take on a more kind of K-pop style structure with those Latin influences, then it's much more within my range. Yeah.
I really liked the song. My only gripe with the song was that between the male and female voices, they didn't really have a lot of transition. So the thing is that when you have a co-ed group, it's really hard to make a song because there are only there's only certain frequencies that you can use that really work.
Yep.
Because if it's too high, it sounds like it's disconnect between the guys and the song. If it's too low, it sounds like a disconnect between the girls and the song.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to go into a mid-range, like song. You can have some highs and some lows, but it has to generally be in that mid-range. That being said, the best transition between the voices is having a half verse or whatever, like right before the guys are about to sing, just harmonized.
Yeah.
With a female and a male voice. That way you have a good transition into the male voices. Card used that a lot. They still use it.
Okay.
You hear in their choruses a lot, it's guys and girls singing, and then they transition to the rap.
I think I have a higher tolerance for like more of those abrupt transitions.
I mean, I have a tolerance for it. It's just I would have preferred having that smoother transition because their voices in this specific group, their voices are very different.
Yeah, they have a much more distinct contrast for sure.
Yeah, rather than Card, who probably, I don't know about this group, I can't speak to this, but I'm pretty sure Card was all trained, aside from Somin, was all trained under the same company, was all trained under DSB.
Right. Yep.
So that being said, they were all trained by the same vocal coach. Aside from Somin.
Somin was trained by DSB.
Somin was under. Right? I think this is like their third debut.
Yeah, Somin.
That was like Card was like her third debut. So Somin's been in the industry a long time.
Yeah, because wasn't she also part of
Purity? She was
anyways.
part of Purity in April, I believe.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So,
but I'm pretty sure there was different vocal coaches for that. But anyway, but Car doesn't have a lot of contrast, and the style that they do doesn't really give way to a lot of contrast.
Right.
In this style, though, it does, and so you kind of need to. I think, in my opinion, you kind of need to blend a little bit better.
yeah.
That being said, they also mixed the voices a little differently, which I don't like. But
Let's see. So for myself, man, there's that one instrument loop in there, right? That was familiar to another song. So like, and that song was also kind of in a similar style. It's from We Girls. There's a ride. So like, for me, right, hearing this song, it drove me nuts for a while because like, what does the song remind me of?
I remember we were talking about that.
Yeah. So like, in my mind, because of the similar styles, and yeah, also that same loop that was used, I could listen to them back to back, and it would kind of feel like the first half of one song and the second half of another song, like one song.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Also, one thing that I found interesting was this is a 5-member group, which means their gender ratio is offset.
Yep,
it's 3-2, which doesn't that put? I would think that puts what do you call it? Couple choreo out of the way, out of possibility.
Yeah.
That I think that's a really interesting choice, opting for, because I don't think couple choreo is essentially possible.
I mean, you know, I could think of a lot of ways you could play with that.
There are ways to play with it, but I feel like the options with 4 members or 6 members.
There's like right now my head's running with like a lot of like fun ways to play with that.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of fun ways, especially for on stage. So my mind is already like going crazy with that. Like, oh man, there's just so much I could do with that.
Right.
That being said, I also didn't see. I mean, I didn't really watch their stage performance, but from what was showed, at least in the video, I didn't see a lot of couple choreo anyway.
Yeah,
there wasn't.
So they could be opting just to not run with it.
I mean,
yeah, because it definitely looked like a lot of formation style.
It was definitely more formations.
Yep.
Which is fine.
It was a more of a, like, when it did show, like, outside of the group shots, it showed more of the group members individually in a regal kind of mode, whatever words. I don't feel like using it today. But it was a more individual to kind of highlight each member individually, so you could kind of start recognizing. I felt like this is more of a obviously debut, but it was more meant to just introduce the members rather than kind of pair them up.
Yeah.
Well, because the Phantom's gonna do that anyways.
Right.
True.
Right.
The Phantom's gonna run wild with this, but as co-eds usually do. So that being said, one thing, I don't know how much Aura pays attention to makeup, but did you notice that they have a distinct Western makeup style?
Yeah, it's. I don't know how to explain it because no one I still don't understand makeup, but it's more. They went. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it gave a much more mature feeling, which is what I've known Western makeup to do, But when it comes to like Eastern makeup, or use of makeup, it is meant to be softer. It's meant to help the people look a little bit younger.
Not necessarily look younger. I mean, yes, there is that too, but much more natural.
Yeah,
like you're.
Yeah.
You know that you don't have any on. So the with the makeup, right? I find that use of it is a bit Western. If they went full Western, then they would look a lot older than they are. And the thing with this group is they're older. than your typical debut group, because like, a lot of them are in their mid-20s already.
Okay.
I think one was like 27, 28. So to go with the full Western style makeup would make them look like they're in their 30s.
Yeah.
So
I just noticed they went with a heavier makeup style.
Yeah.
They were also heavier on the foundation, which is very typical of Western makeup as well.
Yeah.
And obviously the heavy eyeliner.
Yeah.
Yep. With the wings.
Eyeshadow. Yep, with wings and everything. And even the guys have wings and stuff like that. So definitely a lot heavier. They also did a lot more contouring of the facial structure, which bringing
very prominent of Western.
Bringing out the nose, which is also very prominent of Western as well.
Yep.
They didn't go full because like kind of like Gian said, if they did, it would make them look older, which would be applying a foundation and then applying the makeup over the foundation, which would make it look more cakey.
And especially with the contouring too, because like with the contouring, it would also add, like if they did any more contouring, like especially Western style contouring, it'll make them look that much more older. Like like when old people, they kind of get like the sagging in their cheeks and whatnot, or what it will kind of give like that kind of impression. So
yeah. But all in all, I really like the song. Like you said, I do feel like I've kind of heard it a little bit before. That's because of that loop and the sound and stuff like that. That being said, I think once they're more established as a group rather than just a debut, it won't feel like that as much.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. When I say that, like I don't mean that in like in a bad way. Like that's just an observation. I like the song. I do. So
yeah, I definitely am really excited to hear their comeback whenever that happens.
It's like a month later.
I do want to know what follows.
It's like a month later.
Probably, honestly, they're probably already like ready to announce the date tomorrow. Or...
they're probably already training for it before then. Yeah,
probably.
So
yeah, really excited. Definitely gonna keep them on my radar.
Yep.
Shall we move it on?
Aura, did you have anything else before you move it on?
No.
All right. So, actually, Aura, can you take this away? Because you're the one who introduced us to this gem.
All right. So this was as we all know of Jay from Day 6. He has basically his own channel. He also recently started kind of releasing his own songs. But with his name spelled backwards as a solo artist, so it's eaJ, or eaJ. I don't. Jay, if you are watching this, please tell us how you actually pronounce it.
It's probably still Jay.
It's probably still Jay, like you said.
Right. So. But he has paired up with Seori. And for the song "It Just Is," and originally released on his own channel, YouTube channel, as an animation song. So it allows more freedom for the song, like to visualize the song. And Nick, just go with the song, because
Well, before Nick starts, I just want to get this out there, because I've been bursting to say this. I really love this song.
Yeah, it's so good.
I really love it. So, because like her vocals, how can I say this? It's like we've said before, right? Of BB, especially the ability to fill the entire like soundstage with your vocals, and to kind of take control of the atmosphere and paint it and make it your own, right?
Right.
She's really amazing at that. Absolutely amazing. So now, go ahead, Nick.
Well, I'm just gonna take half what I say. It's fine. So first off, they did a really good job with setting the correct soundstage. You see a lot of these kinds of songs that are kind of ruined by a bad soundstage, because like we've talked about before, deciding if you want a closed or open soundstage is very difficult sometimes. And this is one of the songs that are very difficult, because you want it to feel intimate, but you don't want it to feel too intimate.
Right.
You don't want it to feel like it's nearly ASMR, Right. It just wouldn't be good. but I think they did a really good job opting with a closed sound space here, rather than opting for if it was on a stage.
Yep.
Because when you're listening to it, you really like can grasp, you can really grasp like the vibe and understand the flow of the music and kind of where they want to take it in what direction.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, something I want to recommend when you're listening to it is actually listen to it using headphones. Because it's almost like they kind of switch between earpieces, and it creates a different kind of vibe than if you were to listen.
Or if you got a really good sound system,
right?
Because this also sounds really amazing on my home system. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, mine suck.
So definitely do that. One thing I did find interesting was that when Jay was singing,
oh my god,
they opted to send him to the higher octave.
Yeah,
they didn't need to do that. I wouldn't say it was unnecessary, but it wasn't completely like a must-have. You know, they didn't need it to give it a vocal break or anything. But if they didn't, I feel like the song wouldn't have been bland, but I feel like there would have been no, like, it almost added a bit of like difference, you know?
Yeah, that additional flavor,
like a
man.
bit of spice. Yeah.
Like I was gonna say that, like, yeah, his part, it really helps make that song like really. At the point that he comes in the song, it almost feels like the song really like comes alive.
Right.
Even though, like, you know, earlier on, it does have its moments where the song comes alive through her vocals. But wow, like it's such a, especially since he comes in towards the end of the song, man, it's such an amazing build up.
And man, what's been up with all the R&B?
I'm not complaining at all.
This is like full R&B.
Yeah, I love it. So, and I was gonna say too, with the musical accompaniment and this structure of R&B, it was definitely felt in the realm of a certain era in American R&B. And when you look at the artist biography for Seori, it talks about her influences, right? So she's got a lot of American influences or Western influences, because like you got Coldplay, right? Avril Lavigne, Paramore, G-Dragon, and those are just what's listed. So you know that she's also got a lot of American R&B like influence as well from that. From not just the artists, but like from whatever.
A lot of American R&B, and that's also why this song, I think that's also why, even though this song is innately more American, I think it's why it's still like a solidly good song, is because it's one of the few genres left of American music that I can still listen to and not feel like bored of it, you know?
Yeah. And I think part of that too is just because it's so incumbent on the singer for those songs. So.
Yeah. And so like I think that's definitely nice that, like, even though it is like much more Americanized than like I would normally prefer, I can still listen to it and enjoy it, you know?
Oh yeah.
So can I say the guitarist? I think it's Strat, from Keshi.
Oh, is?
Yeah. Or it could be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keshi Strat.
The guitar that accompanied was just absolutely so well done.
And that right there is blues guitar, like R&B, rhythm and blues. That right there is all blues.
Yeah, I think Jay and Seori chose a amazing guitarist to play this song for them. And their choice of whoever animated this just added to the feeling of their vocals.
Yeah, I think the animation did well because it wasn't like it was like full pen and tablet animation, you know? It was very basic, very minimalist. And that goes super well with the
This type of song.
Yeah.
the R&B feeling.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what we talked about last week, right? We brought up like lo-fi girl.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, this is like lo-fi girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, because it's minimalist. There's not even really much in the way of shading, unless there has to be.
Right.
You know, there's not really any of that, and there doesn't need to be.
Yeah, because this song already has enough to keep you preoccupied. Yeah.
You're like, if you're clicking on this song, you're not clicking on the song for the MV. You know, you're clicking on the song to appreciate the music, and I'm glad that they didn't take away from that with this animation. Right. You know, like if this had like the animation like Leon-song did, right? Like if it had like Eun-song's animation where it was like full blown animation, I think some of it would take away from this song. You know, because people would be focused on what's happening in the story.
Yep. Because there's just so much musically.
The animation is definitely meant to support this, to support the music as a whole, and it just did such an amazing job to basically convey the feeling of the music. It was just a great support. And go ahead. I was just gonna say the entire team that worked on this, because there are credits at the end. Fantastic job.
I will say that Seori is going to be an artist on my watch list. In fact, I've already subscribed to her channel because I'm looking forward to what she does next.
Right.
Like, I seriously love
her voice.
Like the work that she did here, her voice, her vocal abilities.
Right.
I love it. Definitely my style. So, are we ready to take it on to our very last one?
I'm not ready.
So
I'm about as ready as I'm gonna be.
Our boys, H&D, Sangyeon and Doyeon, with Umbrella. Man, you guys know, right? Like I'm pretty sure there was like no doubts in your guys' mind from when you guys first heard this that this is gonna be a song that I would rave about.
Oh yeah, straight up.
Oh yeah.
This is right up my alley. So, Nick, please take it away.
So, this is very much in the. Actually, it is R&B.
Yep.
As we've talked about before, but this is also like borderline lo-fi.
Yeah.
Borderline lo-fi coming from it's coming from the jazz, right? The jazz, jazzness of it, because jazz also has down-tempo jazz, right? Has like those similar elements of lo-fi.
Yeah. So the thing that really gives like lo-fi its sound is that lo-fi has a lot of imperfections in the music. That's how lo-fi came about. It was jazz, R&B, that kind of general area of music. You take it and make it low quality.
Yep.
And that's what lo-fi became. You know? So when I talk about like this is lo-fi, I mean that like the music in itself, because it is live music.
Right.
And it's not really mixed or mastered much, has a lot of imperfections in it.
Yep.
Now, does that mean it's bad? No.
Hell no.
That is just the style of music they opted for.
Yeah.
There are imperfections between mixing and mastering between the singer's voices and the background track. Between, especially, there's a bit of contrast between the keyboard in specific and the drums. There's a bit of contrast there. But all of that being said, like it works to make it a lo-fi vibe.
Yeah, so and everything you described, right, with the imperfections of basically like a live performance, it gives it that the song that raw organic feeling, and that organic feeling, I find that for myself, I have a much easier time like connecting with it, grasping to it, because like it just feels like it's something that's actually real, you know, like tangible even. you know, like I'm actually like there, like watching this or listening to this performance. So at least that's the experience for me, anyways. Because like you know me, I love it. I love immersion.
Right.
So.
This song was really good at knowing when to transition. Like,
yeah. I think the transitions were done really well. I also really liked how they were like, yeah, I know we've been sticking with like this kind of lo-fi vibe, but I want to change it to a little more Latin now. It's fine.
And then Do-hyun just
nobody's gonna ask questions
with it.
Yeah, and then he's vibing, and then they go back to the chorus, and we're back to lo-fi. Like, you know, it's whatever. And that really speaks to the versatility of R&B, lo-fi, blues, all of that. Is that because it's so minimalist, you can really take it wherever you want.
It also showed like more of the, like we keep on saying whenever these two release a song, there's so much versatility in these two. They've been able to switch between so many different types of songs, and this song is almost like a combination of all of that, where they can keep on going back and forth between different styles, and that's just so versatile and just
Now, that opening vocals with Do-hyun.
Yeah.
Remember everything I just said about like Seori from the last MV that we just talked about, right? That establishing that presence with your vocals and kind of controlling, you know, setting the mood. Like he did so well with that. I was so blown away. Oh man. And like Hang Yo too, like with his smoky vocals, is so perfect for this type of song.
Yeah. What I really like is I like that we see Do-hyun singing.
Yes.
Because if you remember PDX, he was pretty much just a rapper.
Yeah. So that's why
he didn't really showcase his vocals. And I think when he talked about it, he said that it was really nothing special.
Yeah.
It's just the average idol vocal.
He lied.
He definitely lied to us. Man, why are you always lying? Because that's not the average idol vocal.
Right.
He has an innate raspiness to his voice.
And especially when you pair that with his natural charisma. Like, I feel like, because you know when he normally talks, right? He just seems so kind of like he's kind of holding back, right? Like holding back his natural glow, I guess.
Yeah.
But then like he really comes alive on the stage when he's performing. You know, he's rather than this that reserved stone face Do-hyun that we always see when he's talking normally. So, man, he is amazing. Absolutely.
He's starting to display much more of a stage presence than he did early on in his career. It seems like he's getting more comfortable.
He'd only practiced for a couple months, right, prior to produce, like for a few months. Like
I believe so.
I remember he said like he'd only been rapping for like for so long. And everyone was just like, what? He's this good, and he's only been practicing for like rap for like that long.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it was the same with Johan.
Yep.
I think Johan was shorter though.
Yeah, Johan was like really
Johan was
short.
like a month, and people were like, "Excuse me."
He's got this much down after a month. So. Now, talking about the video, I love the way that they did this video with having the other performers, right, present.
Right.
Because I was really jamming along to the instrumentals, the musical accompaniment, and seeing them perform too, like even that woman on the keyboard, she's grooving, she's vibing, she's jamming.
Yeah, she is vibing.
It reminded me of that BB like music video stage performance.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it knew when to focus on like Hangul or Do-hyun, but it also knew when to focus on each individual like instrument. Like,
yeah, because like,
and all of them are so good at their instrument as well.
They are.
That like it didn't really show very often, but that bassist was jamming. Like he was vibing.
And the drummer, he's just grooving, right? He was just grooving so into it. And
yeah, because usually you see people like when they're in like a video like this, they're very stiff.
They're stiff. You know, they're just there.
They're very stiff. They're like,
motion.
all right, I shouldn't move because I don't want to attract
Stand
attention.
out.
But these people are vibing. Like you can tell they genuinely appreciate the music they're creating.
Yeah, because like there was that one scene where it's Dohyun and Hangyeon, they're in the middle of the frame, but you got the drummer in the back, and you know, like he's just jamming.
He's not even looking at the two artists or the camera.
But he's just jamming.
He just has his head down jamming.
Right.
Yep. And I found myself like looking at him as much as I was looking at Hangyeon and Dohyun.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that the director for the music video would not complain about that. In fact, he's probably, I like that. I'm gonna keep it like that. Let's roll with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's nice is
Yeah, because I mean,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go. I can remember my stuff.
So, I mean, because like they got enough in general screen time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hangul and Dohyun. They had that walk up. They had the band not being there in the intro, and obviously they had their solo shots and whatever.
Right.
But I honestly, if the MV was just a still like image of them just vibing with the band around them, I wouldn't complain.
Yeah. That'd be really all.
But I really like that they because obviously those cuts to cutting to the bassist or cutting to the keyboardist or whatever.
Right.
Yep.
They had to reshoot those obviously. Right. So like they put in extra effort to bring those
exactly
to bring people jamming just out.
Exactly. And what's nice is that like those members didn't take away from Hangul or Dohyun. Like they weren't swinging their arms wildly. They weren't like It was just a nice kind of vibing kind of movement, and it everybody was vibing. It was because neither Hangul or Dohyun were even moving very much. It was a very minimalistic movement among everyone, but at the same time, it felt that minimalistic movement just conveyed so much more. Like less is more, like we've been saying with a lot of artists lately.
Yeah.
The less is more, and it works so perfectly with this.
Yeah, and the amount, like Nick had said before, I really want to hammer that home. Like the amount of passion that everybody showed in his performance.
Yep,
really made it.
Man, so. I could see myself just like sitting in a cafe and just chilling to the song,
a cafe or a jazz bar,
I bet you every cafe in Korea is playing this song right now.
Oh man, they need to be.
If they're not,
do it.
If they're not, do it.
Like as of this recording, like the music video is at 70,000 views. So criminally underrated. So I need you folks,
and it's on 1K at that.
Yeah. So please help us out here. Help them out.
Is this their last music video before they actually go into a group?
I believe this is their last music video as a duo, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Goodbye was their last album. That's why it was titled Goodbye. Or, I don't know if the album was titled Goodbye, but that's what I think the title track was. Okay. So I think this is just a second MV for their album. Okay. For their farewell album. But yeah, because they should be going to group. Honestly, part of me kind of wishes they wouldn't.
I know, because like
part of me kind of wishes they would just stay as this.
Exactly, because with everything that they've been releasing so far, I'm fine with staying as this. In fact, I kind of want to, yeah.
Kind of want it.
Like I want to see how they do in a group. But I also just love. I kind of want this as a. And
they have such innate chemistry with each other.
I want this as their sub-unit. If
it's much like a what was it like Bowl 4 back when they were a duet. Yodudal, these other duets that we have out there, like in the indie scene, right?
Yeah,
I feel like I have that same kind of attachment for them as like I do within the industry, indie scene, indie acoustic scene.
Right.
Yep.
Man. All right, I'm not ready to move on because.
Oh no.
And neither it's just like, what's the pick? What am I gonna pick? Off of this remaining lineup and off of the stuff that we cut.
It's hard
for the music video of the week. Because between I thought I had a short list going, right? I thought I had it narrowed down to like, you know, J and Seori and H&D, but then like,
this is a hard
the
one.
other stuff too. Even the stuff that we cut, like, you know, like Johnny, that was right up my alley.
Right. So.
Oh man, I don't know. Who's ready to go first?
I
am.
Right.
I've already got mine picked.
All right, what you got?
So mine, we didn't talk about it, but I've been listening to the song literally nonstop, since it came out, and it's also my quick shot. But this is ARISONG.
Yep.
The song "Stay with Me."
Okay.
Yeah, Osang was the
featuring
another
Kong.
one. That was one of the other ones that was on my short list.
That is R&B, but more on the hip hop side of R&B. And man, that is an amazing song. It was released on Genie on the September 23rd, so it's been out for a few days now, and that has 2,000 views.
Go watch it.
Yep.
Definitely make sure to go watch it. That song is a vibe. Like, the song is so good, and especially with the way ARISONG creates that atmosphere and creates that soundstage.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I forgot like 5 songs.
I honestly cannot decide between Seori and Jay and Honghyun and Doyeon. Like, to me, they are like
The duets.
literally right there on the same level in my heart. So that's what I'm just gonna go with. Those two songs.
You know,
Because I cannot decide. So
yeah, my short list is freaking Yuri, Jay and Seori, Juni, Stray Kids, and H&D.
That's not a short list.
That's not a
That's
short
a long list.
This is,
That's a long
compared
list.
to the 20 songs that we had, because each one just fit a different style of my taste and just right, man. Every song just hit just right, but in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna pick?
I've got to go with either H&D or Joe Yuri. Those two are just... I can't pick between those two.
Alright, that's your pick?
Yeah.
So, on to the quick shots. Take it away, Nick.
Hello. Okay.
Okay.
I guess let's just take it.
I don't know.
We didn't really write down this time who was taking it.
I thought it was Ji who was taking it.
So,
Oh.
Ghost 9 came out with a song, with a debut, Think of Dawn, that has Produce X 2, I think, Produce X 101 boys in it.
Taesung and
Because it has
Jinwoo.
Taesung and Jinwoo. And Jinwoo looks completely different. You actually probably won't recognize him
We
until
didn't.
you look at the comments.
I didn't even know until he told me like prior to you recording.
Yeah.
Yep. He is a totally different person.
Nick,
Looks like a totally different person.
Nick, when
now.
you said it, Jihoon and I were like, wait. You're lying, right?
Everyone thought I was lying, especially like, man, talk about a glow up.
Yeah.
But definitely go check that out. It's on Super Sound Bugs. It has like 78,000 views.
Go
So
watch it.
Make sure you go watch that.
it.
Yep. So, and then you already talked about Osang. So,
Yep.
Another Nick.
Refund Expedition.
Yeah, I'll talk about this one too. Refund Expedition decided on their title track and confirms their October debut date. If you don't know who Refund Expedition is, you are living under a rock. Because this is like probably gonna be one of the biggest girl groups this year. So this group is an upcoming girl group, and the 4 members consists of Jung-hwa, Yuri, Hwasa, and Jessie.
Now you probably already heard of Jessie and Hwasa.
probably heard of Hwasa. Yeah.
You may be too young to not know of Jung-hwa and Yuri. So, but first gen fans, K-pop fans would know of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
first gen K-pop fans are loving this right now.
Yep.
Probably some second gen too.
Yeah, second gen. Well, so yeah, because was it second gen for Jessie when she debuted?
I think so.
So, well.
So, and if you don't know, so they have decided. They decided on the title track and October debut date. Also, notably, 3 out of these 4 members are in Melon's top 5.
It's so insane.
So that is amazing. 3 out of the 4 members being, I haven't confirmed, but I'm like 90% sure it's Hwasa, Jessie, and LiQWYD.
Yeah, because Jung-hwa, she's like in her 50s now. Like she's 50 years old now. She's been long retired, so it would make sense that she wouldn't be on the list. So.
Also, can I just note she's in her 50s, but she still looks really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one teaser clip that they posted with all of them, it's like man.
Yeah.
She's still killing it.
So definitely can't wait for that. Especially genre-wise, what they're gonna go with.
Yeah,
because there's so many genres here
that they can do.
I mean, Jessie's like a very notable rapper.
Yep.
Jung-hwa was trot, right?
No, she was pop.
She was pop. Okay.
Pop ballad. Yeah.
Hwasa's like much more R&B.
Much more R&B
level.
Yuri, she debuted with pop when she was part of the group, and then with her solo career, she's more into like R&B.
Okay.
So
R&B pop.
Definitely could go that like very like borderline hip hop R&B level, which honestly, with like what we saw in the episodes today, would not take me by surprise.
It'd be.
And I would not complain.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be
absolutely will be.
I'm totally down for an R&B boom. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys have anything else?
Yeah, I do. So, as of this episode, when this episode releases, in a few days, JSF from COD, because we mentioned COD earlier, that actually jogged my memory. He's actually going to be doing his conscription, so he's gonna be joining the military soon. Best of luck to him, and just wishing him safety and all that.
All right, I think it's about ready to sign off.
It is time.
All right. Thank you for watching. This has been ASSA Nation. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Click that bell icon if you want to know when we upload in the future. We have a Discord. Make sure you go follow that or go join that. We talk there pretty often. And we kind of post little snippets of what we might talk about for the next week. We have a Twitter. Make sure you go follow that. We also post our videos there so you'll know and get first, second upload. Patreon, if you want to support our channel and help us make better content for you, consider just giving a little. Even $1 goes a long way. So definitely, if you can, make sure to please do that. After that, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.